What will the price of Ethereum reach at the peak of the next bull market? That is the question we're answering in today's video. But as always, before we dive into today's topic, please drop a thumbs up down below. It really helps with the algorithm and getting the videos out there more. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already. And without further ado, we'll get into today's video. So, Ethereum, obviously we know, is the second largest cryptocurrency by market cap, an extremely important player in the overall cryptocurrency ecosystem, and a lot of the market dynamics between Bitcoin and Ethereum set the precedence for the rest of the entire market as a whole. So we're just going to touch on a few different points here that kind of play into why Ethereum is such a powerful player, and then break down a little bit of a price prediction based on all of that. So maybe just right off the bat, obviously the price of Ethereum today is sitting at $2,473, which is today, January 21st, 2024. Obviously we're down from all-time highs of about 4,700 at the peak of the last bull market, which we got at around the middle of November 2021 was when we peaked out the last time. And I think it's worth remembering the 4-year cycle that we often refer to in terms of, you know, the Bitcoin halving and the 4-year cycle that we get as a result of the supply shock caused in the Bitcoin protocol itself, and how that sets the precedence and kind of creates the beginning of the bull market in the aftermath of the halving event, which is going to be occurring in April, May of this year, and the bull run that we get in the 12 to 18 months after that halving event. We see it typically peak out about 12 to 18 months after that event. And obviously Ethereum, along with so many other projects, following in the footsteps of Bitcoin after that halving event. So, you know, what are some of the things going on with Ethereum at the moment? Obviously, sometimes we forget just the sheer size of Ethereum and everything that's going on inside decentralized finance. I think it's always worth remembering the sheer amount of projects that are built on Ethereum as layer 2s, and the weight that the infrastructure of Ethereum plays when it comes to the entire cryptocurrency and blockchain market as a whole. It is a powerhouse, obviously being the second largest project in the entire space. All of these projects are built on top of Ethereum, and the ERC20 protocol obviously set the precedence for so much of this a few years ago, and all of the different businesses, projects, and different narratives and micro ecosystems that live within Ethereum. So, you know, everything from the infrastructure players here with partnerships, and then lending and borrowing with DeFi and Aave and Maker, and all these projects that are paving the way for decentralized finance. NFT and gaming, another huge sector that's another big narrative that we're going to see a lot of hype around over the next 12 to 18 months as well. Communities, wallets, exchanges, payments and transfers, data and oracles, yield farming. Again, with the approval of the Bitcoin ETF in the past week or so, a lot of talk is now moving towards the approval of an Ethereum spot ETF for the market to follow in the footsteps of Bitcoin, so that these institutional investors can allocate parts of their portfolios to Ethereum as well. And staking and yield farming play into that a lot, because obviously with Bitcoin being a proof of work protocol, there is no staking on Bitcoin and no staking rewards. But Ethereum and the entire Ethereum ecosystem allows for staking and investors to earn yields as a result of staking their tokens for ETH, but also for, you know, so many of these projects that are built on top of the Ethereum ecosystem. So I think that's another huge momentum driver for Ethereum over the next 12 to 18 months, again, if we get the approval of an Ethereum spot ETF later this year in 2024, that serves to help bring more capital into Ethereum itself and all of the decentralized finance ecosystem, moving money from traditional finance into decentralized finance. Ethereum is the king when it comes to that, so only set to grow and only set to benefit from any type of Ethereum ETF approval potentially later this year. The floodgates will only open for inflow of capital into DeFi and into so many of these layer 2 projects on Ethereum. So that kind of covers staking, yield farming, and ETFs. Obviously, some of the network upgrades happening this year. As we know, there's a lot of congestion issues with Ethereum, and gas fees are criminally high sometimes when it comes to sending and transacting with Ethereum. So some of the upgrades on the Ethereum network this year are geared towards alleviating some of that stress and congestion on the network, as well as the growth of other layer 2s on top of Ethereum that help to cut costs and make transactions more easy for not just retail investors but institutional investors to be able to stake and earn rewards and also send and transact with Ethereum in a much more efficient and cost-effective manner. So worth considering a lot of the upgrades that are happening here over the next 12 to 24 months as well. Just a couple of things we'll look at in terms of charts as well before we jump into the price prediction. Obviously, Ethereum versus US dollars, what we're looking at here. Clearly, we're down from all-time highs, but we have had a steady bit of growth in the entirety of 2023 since market lows in 2022. And interestingly, that kind of correlates to Bitcoin with that accumulation phase that we see in the year before the Bitcoin halving event. You know, a little bit of accumulation going on here slowly throughout the entirety of 2023, which is interesting to see. However, when we map Ethereum versus Bitcoin itself, we can see that Ethereum versus Bitcoin has been on a bit of a downtrend. So Bitcoin has been performing stronger than Ethereum over the same period of this kind of, you know, the past 12 to 18 months. It's been in a bit of a downtrend versus Bitcoin. In the past week or two, we're seeing that begin to reverse. So a lot of people calling for the fact that the strength of Bitcoin versus Ethereum over the past 12 to 18 months has been a little bit overpowering, and we are due a bit of a correction here in terms of seeing the reversal of that trend and Ethereum beginning to perform better than Bitcoin over the next couple of months. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out, but we're at the beginning phase of this small trend reversal here. And you know, a lot of interesting things to think about as we approach the halving event later this year. So what we're going to look at is breaking down a bit of a price prediction for Ethereum in terms of a bear case, base case, and bull case. Bear case scenario, again, we need to think about the numbers here in terms of overall market capitalization. What kind of dominance rate can Ethereum achieve during the next bull market? Obviously the entire circulating supply of Ethereum and what that translates to in terms of price. So obviously, total market cap today, we're sitting at 1.64 trillion. A bear case scenario, I think, for the next bull run would be an overall market cap of $4 trillion. Right now, Ethereum is sitting at an 18.59% dominance in terms of the entire market cap. Obviously, we've seen that higher in the past. During the last bull run, it got up to 22.5%. Previously, it had gotten as high as 25 to 30%. So what we're taking here is a 20% dominance for Ethereum to achieve in the next bull cycle. Again, it's not too unrealistic to think that Ethereum could achieve 1.5% more dominance in terms of the overall market, especially when it goes on its run during the next bull cycle. So at a 20% dominance and 120 million ETH in circulation, that gives us a price per Ethereum of about $6,600 when we divide the entire circulating supply by a 20% dominance at a 4 trillion overall market capitalization. So that is our bear case scenario. The base case puts us at a $6 trillion market overall. We're keeping the same Ethereum dominance to achieve a 20% dominance in terms of overall market cap, obviously with the same circulating supply, and that puts us at a $9,985 price per Ethereum for our base case. And then the more bullish scenario is a total market cap of about $8 trillion. Again, some people would argue that we could get closer to 10 trillion in the next cycle, but I think 8 trillion is quite a bullish scenario given the fact that we are at 1.64 trillion today. And what we're looking at is, again, Ethereum at a 20% dominance rate, 120 million ETH in circulation, giving us a bull case scenario Ethereum price of $13,313. So again, thinking about these three different scenarios in terms of overall market cap, I think the Ethereum dominance at a 20% is extremely realistic. And the biggest variable here really is, how high can the overall market cap go? And then how much of that dominance can Ethereum capture at its height? So interesting to think about these numbers. I think the base case is very achievable based on where we've seen Ethereum go in previous cycles, and also based on a very realistic overall market cap. And the bullish case, obviously all the Ethereum bulls will be wanting something more like this, and some people would also argue that it could get as high as 15 to 20,000, but I think these estimates and these projections and these predictions are based on as much reality as we can garner at this point with regards to the circulating supply, with regards to realistic projections for market cap. So let us know what you think. Let us know, do you think the price of Ethereum is going to go beyond $10,000? Do you think it's going to get closer to 15 or 20? Where do you think ETH can go in the next bull run? Let us know in the comments below. As always, if you enjoy these videos, please drop a thumbs up below. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so already, and we will see you in the next one.